Hi everyone. So I'm back today to challenge myself yet again with the discomfort of recording videos. Like I said in my post yesterday, I plan on coming out of this learning new skills and evolving. And right now I'm working through the fear of putting myself out there on video. So I'm thankful and grateful for this opportunity to be able to do this during this time. And thank you to all of those who watched my video, who gave me comments and feedback, and who shared it. I truly appreciate it. Yesterday, I spoke to you about self-care and finding your flow so that you can model that for your children. And today I want to talk to you about adjusting to this new reality. It seems to me that we all used to complain about how much schoolwork and how much extracurricular activities and how much we had to do and all the responsibilities that our children had and how little time they had to sleep or to just hang out or to do the things that they enjoy doing. And that went for us too. How many hours did we spend driving them back and forth and sitting in the car waiting for them to get out of school or out of their activities? So this is a time that we have to do it differently. We have nothing but time right now. Yet I see that people are trying to recreate what we used to have. So now our children are doing their schooling at home, and people are freaking out about how are they going to learn all of this and how are they going to do 6 hours of online learning, and are they going to fall behind? And so I'm challenging you to think of it as a new reality in which maybe it doesn't take them 6 hours to get their schoolwork done. Maybe what they used to do at school all day in 6 hours could take them 1 or 2 hours now. Maybe this is an opportunity for them to have some downtime, some quiet time of doing nothing, especially for those older teens. This is a time where they can get online and connect with their friends. This is a time where they could get online and learn something new. There are so many free resources out there right now. They may have the time to follow something that they're passionate about that doesn't fall under the academic umbrella of schooling. So I challenge you to think of it as a different reality and not try to recreate what we had before, which many of us didn't feel really was meeting our needs anyway. And for those that have younger children that are asking, well, how do I entertain them for all these hours at home? I think the bigger question is, why do we feel the need to entertain them? Our children have a vivid imagination, and if allowed the time and the space to be bored, then they will find something to create, some way to play. But I feel like in our recent times, parents have been told that it's their duty, their job as a good parent to entertain their children. We do it with screens, and we do it by constantly playing with them or engaging, giving them an activity or an art project. Or so again, I challenge you to look at it differently. When your child comes to you and says that they're bored, Be more boring. Say, I get it. Or be the opposite and say, yay, we're all so bored. Don't fall into the trap of fixing it, as we do with many of our parenting, I should say, mistakes, where we fall into the trap of trying to fix it for our kids. So don't fall into the trap of fixing it for them and feeling like it's your duty to entertain them. Allow them to be bored. A lot of it comes from our own fear of, well, if they're bored, they're going to be annoying me and they're going to be asking me to entertain them. So if you've done that till now, yes, you've created that habit for them. So it's time to break that habit. It's time to say, I get it, you're bored. I'm sure you'll find something to do eventually. Or just allow them to just be bored and sit there and be in silence. That's beautiful too. But we have this idea that if they're not doing something all the time, if they're not being productive, then they're not learning, they're not achieving, they're not going to be successful. It's a shift we have to do. We have to make in our own minds that it's healthy to just be. It's healthy to just sit and stare out the window. It's actually healing. It's a form of meditation to just feel comfortable enough to bathe in your stillness and in your not doing anything, not being called and pulled back and forth to do something else. Now, that being said, yes, your children may come and nag you, but mommy, I'm bored. Mommy, what do I do? Mommy, mommy, mommy. And at that point, you can get playful and join their energy and be like, oh, you're bored? I wonder what you could do. But don't fix it. Or you can set a boundary and say, I get that you're bored right now. Mommy is busy working on this task that I have to accomplish. You can handle this. Go see what you can do. So if your child comes to you and says, I'm bored, see what comes up for you. See if you're feeling uncomfortable with their boredom. See if you're feeling anxious about having to fix it, having to entertain them. And if you can hold out long enough, I promise you, they will find something to do or not do and just daydream. So see how long you can hold out. Don't give them the screen. I understand that in these times where we're home for so long and we don't have our friends around and our classes to go to, if you're going to use the screen for some parts of the day, fine, use it. Just know that the screens also give the kids instant gratification and stimulation. So that can make it more difficult for them later to find their own game or dive deep into their own play and their own imagination because they're not getting that instant gratification and stimulation. Same goes for electronic toys. Toys that make noise, toys that are close-ended, meaning that they only do one thing. Again, instant gratification and stimulation. So we want them to build their muscle of imagination and creativity, to open-ended toys that they can pretend are something else, like a stick, which becomes a horse, or a broom, or a sword, right? It can do lots of different things when they're playing with it. Those are the type of tools you want to encourage or give to your children to encourage the use of imagination and creativity. So yesterday I also mentioned connection, and I said that connection was important, but connection to yourself had to come first. So we talked about that yesterday through self-care and finding your flow, your moments of the day where you were in flow, and modeling that for your children. And I believe that, yes, connection is a beautiful thing and is necessary. But as the overachieving parents that we can be, sometimes we have this idea that connection has to happen all day long, and that we have to be spending time with our child all day long and entertaining them, like I said earlier, or creating activities for them. So if that's your thought, I would encourage you to connect with them during specific times, during meals. Really, really be present. No electronics, no devices. Look into each other's eyes, have conversation during bath time, during story time, during those times where you're taking care of them. Really be present 100% during those times. Be playful. Check your face to make sure that you have a pleasant face going on and not that you're going through bath time, upset and just getting it done. Connect with them during those times. And then if you want to add a time of family connection with a game or with a silly dance party or a walk in nature, finding time to be together and connect as a family can also be part of your day. But it doesn't have to be an all-day thing, especially with little ones. They can handle it. They can handle being on their own and playing. And if we just allow them the time and the space to do it, then they will do it. But if we're constantly thinking we have to jump in there and entertain them, then we're not allowing them the time and the space to dive deep into their imagination. And when you see them playing, don't interrupt. When you see them playing, just observe quietly, if you choose to observe at all. But if you're doing something else, then just give them their space. But the second you start talking to them, the second you dive into their play and start trying to play with them, you're pulling them out of their imagination and you're not allowing them to build that muscle. It's like when you're in a state of flow doing something that you love and that you're passionate about, or even something that you just have to get done, and somebody comes into your space and starts talking to you and interrupts your thought process and starts, even if it's just to make a comment like, oh wow, that looks wonderful, it interrupts and it takes you time to get back in to your thought process and into your flow. It's the same thing with our children. When you see them playing, allow them the space. Respect that space and stop that urge that we have to be a part of everything in their lives. Just allow. The more you do this, the more they'll be able to play on their own and not be needing you to entertain them. So tomorrow, I'm gonna record another video about how to create the space and the environment to help your child be successful at playing independently. And we'll go deeper into that. So I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Bye for now. Remember, leave a comment and share with other parents that you think could find this information helpful. Bye-bye.